Prince Harry did not offer to pay for police protection when he visited the UK, the High Court heard as the Duke's latest legal battle kicked off today. The Home Office claimed his offer was notably not advanced to the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, REVEC, when he came for the Diana statue unveiling in June. Lawyers for the department also slammed the Duke for failing to afford the necessary measure of respect to Home Secretary Priti Patel and REVEC. Meanwhile, they warned him British police officers are not available for personal protective security. The Home Office legal team told the Royal it was irrelevant he offered to pay for them himself. They also vowed to make him fork out for excessive legal costs caused by the case, which experts warned could total up to £400,000. The Duke's legal team claimed he wants to return to the UK to see family and friends, adding, "Most of all, this is and always will be his home." Harry wants to return to the UK for the service of Thanksgiving for his grandfather Philip, which will be held at Westminster Abbey on March 29. They said he wants to bring his children Archie and Lilibet and wife Meghan, but he does not feel safe under the current security arrangements. His father Prince Charles and his grandmother the Queen have still not met Lilibet. The Duke is suing over a decision not to allow him to pay for police protection for himself and his family while in the UK. He is arguing his private protection team in the US does not have adequate jurisdiction abroad or access to UK intelligence which is needed to keep safe. On Friday, the first hearing in the case took place at the Royal Courts of Justice in London, which Harry did not attend. At the preliminary hearing, the court heard there was an application by both sides for some parts of the court documents in the case to be kept private. The Duke briefly returned from LA for the July 1 unveiling of the Diana statue and, the day before, met ill children at a WellChild garden party in Kew Gardens. It is claimed the Duke's car was chased by photographers as he left. Ms. Fatima later said before the claim was issued the claimant asked the defendant to engage in alternative dispute resolution. Harry is challenging the February 2020 decision of the Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, REVEC, over his security. A legal representative for Harry previously said the Duke wants to fund the security himself, rather than ask taxpayers to foot the bill. Robert Palmer QC, for the Home Office, told the court the Duke's offer of private funding was irrelevant. In written submissions, he said, personal protective security by the police is not available on a privately financed basis, and REVEC does not make decisions on the provision of such security on the basis that any financial contribution could be sought or obtained to pay for it. He said REVEC had attributed to the Duke a form of exceptional status where he is considered for personal protective security by the police, with the precise arrangements being dependent on the reason for his presence in Great Britain and by reference to the functions he carries out when present. The barrister added, a case-by-case approach rationally and appropriately allows REVEC to implement a responsive approach to reflect the applicable circumstances. The Home Office's written arguments also claim that Harry's offer of funding was notably not advanced to REVEC at the time of the Duke's visit in June 2021, or in any pre-action discussions. Mr. Palmer later said in the written submissions that the Duke had failed to afford the necessary measure of respect to the Home Secretary and REVEC as the expert, and democratically accountable, decision-maker on matters of protective security and associated risk assessment. He added that the Home Office will seek the costs incurred as a result of this claim in full, including those of the confidentiality exercise, which has resulted in costs being incurred to the public purse. The couple lost their taxpayer-funded police protection in the aftermath of quitting as senior working royals in early 2020. They were later forced to disclose they had put in place privately funded security arrangements for their move to the U.S., after then-President Donald Trump said his country would not pay for their protection. The hearing in front of Mr. Justice Swift continues, with the written judgment due at a later date. On the other hand, Mr. Sean, the royal expert, said, I do think Meghan and Harry know themselves they cannot simply turn their backs on the UK because it's a lucrative as a brand, as a company, as a couple. They need to return here because they get worldwide headlines, where they're staying, what they're doing, who they're meeting. We saw that recently Prince Harry teamed up with his cousin Princess Eugenie at a Super Bowl game. He went on to claim, Meghan Markle will be returning to the UK we do believe at some point this year.